Hi everyone, this is Galen. A few years ago, I made a series of videos while I was in the early stages of overcoming some chronic pain that I was having. And so I just wanted to do an update. I'm really happy to say that I am still pain-free. It's 2020 now, and I haven't had a pain day in, gosh, at least like 11 months. So I often people will ask me what did I do? And I usually try and come up with like a quick like one answer, but basically it was five main things that I did. And I don't know which one or all of these. I think they all work together. And so I just thought I would make a quick video about that. And so the five things that worked for me in overcoming chronic neck and back pain were water, sleep, movement, posture correction, and then diet and digestion. And so basically going down the list with water, I had been reading about perimenopause, menopause, and how those things will dry your joints out. And of course, this could even be true of men who are aging too. And so I started drinking about 10 glasses of water a day. And before that, I really was not drinking any water at all. And I was drinking coffee. Sorry. And and I was also taking blood pressure medicine that was a diuretic. And so I was really severely dehydrated. And so once I started drinking about 10 glasses of water a day, I started to feel better. The pain started to get less within like a week. I mean, that was the number one thing. And so in addition to that, I really hadn't slept properly in like over a year, because of the pain that I was having in my neck and back. It would just wake me up constantly all night. And then finally, when I would wake up early in the morning, way too early, I could never get back to sleep because I was in so much pain. And so I started taking Advil PM, and later would alternate with melatonin. And in the beginning, I started taking that every day, which I probably wouldn't recommend to anybody. But for me, in my situation, I had to, because it was the only way I could get to sleep. It was the only way I could sleep all night and wake up and not be in pain. It was kind of like a little miracle. But of course, you can't do that forever. And so now, as things have gotten better, I just started backing off, and I would take it maybe a couple times a week, once a week, and now I'm really hardly ever taking it at all. Maybe I'll take it once every few weeks if I feel like I've missed a couple nights of sleep for whatever reason, because even though um, I've realized that my chronic pain is a lot better, if I miss a few nights of sleep, I'll start to feel that sort of chronic fatigue feeling that I was also struggling with during that difficult time. And so, again, Advil PM and melatonin are what really kind of got me through that bridge. And now I'm actually able to sleep without those things, which is really, really nice. So the other thing are movements and exercise. So basically, I had to start stretching, following up to the next one, which is posture. Excuse me, I'm going to close my window. Because my posture was so out of whack from just not having good posture in the beginning, and then the pain had made it worse, and I was having disc degeneration, possibly from being dehydrated, and a variety of things. So in order to correct my posture, I had to start stretching first, because I couldn't even figure out how to get into the correct posture. So just stretching was a huge thing, just to start getting things loosened up. And I do basic yoga stretches. I'm not like a big yoga person, but just some basics just to keep things loosened up. So now that I am better, I do try and exercise. I'm not like I've never been really great at exercising regularly, but I at least keep moving. I ride my bike, walk my dog, just basic things, just to keep things moving. So I know if I'm sedentary, that things will start to get worse again. And so with the posture correction, basically, like I said in the beginning, I couldn't even figure out how to be in the correct posture. I had really lost the curve in the back of my neck. My neck like was straight, you know, when going to the chiropractor or looking at x-rays, you could see like my neck was basically straight, and my lower back was also straight up and down instead of having that curve that it should have. And so I've worked hard to restore those curves. I don't know about the one in my neck, if that's that much better now, but definitely my lower back. And those are like sort of like shock absorbers, those curves in your spine that you're supposed to have, really help, you know, it all function properly. And so, and through stretching and through just being aware of my posture all the time, I, I've restored some of that the natural curves and the way things are supposed to be. And so once I figured it out, once I had stretched enough to get it loosened up, then now I'm aware if I'm not sitting up straight as I should be, or if I'm like curving my back or have my shoulders rounded too far forward, I'm able to just instinctively correct myself, and it just kind of is coming naturally now. Whether I'm at work, sitting at a desk, if I'm driving in my car, I'm able to just be aware of those things and self-correct. So, and then the last one is diet and digestion. When I was having a lot of pain, and basically along with that was like chronic fatigue from not sleeping and everything, and just being really run down, I felt like my digestion was a component of that as well. And that probably also related to being dehydrated. When I would eat something, it would make me really tired, and I would just feel like I needed to take a nap no matter what I ate. And so over time, with drinking a lot more water and being more aware of what I'm eating and making sure that I'm eating fruits and vegetables, my digestion has gotten a lot better, and I just feel like that's a component of it also, because if I start to get off track and just I'm eating too much bread and crackers and chips and things like that, and not enough fresh fruits and vegetables, that I can kind of feel that chronic fatigue start to come back in and just start to creep back in, especially after I eat something that's not quite right. I will just start to feel tired again. And so I feel like those 5 things have worked together to help me overcome the chronic pain that I was experiencing. It was probably around a year to a year and a half that I was really in a lot of pain. And then it's taken over a year to work my way out of that, and to finally be in a place where, like I've said, I haven't had like a real pain day probably since like December of last year. So like 11 months. And that's pretty phenomenal considering where I was just having, of course, pain days all the time. And then later, you know, I would be doing really good, and then I would have like a few pain days a month. So I just wish you all the best, and I hope that you can find some things that work for you. Good luck.